everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be giving you guys a look at some older Black Series figures from the 3 3/4 inch line, starting with Ponda Baba. So hopefully he's not too reflective in the light, but that's okay because we'll get him out of the package. This is one that my husband got for me, picked up at Half Price Books, which was super cool. I remember when Ponda Baba came out and everybody really was trying to get him. He initially released, I believe, in the Vintage collection and then re-released in the Black Series packaging, and he was a part of a wave that was really poorly distributed, and I ended up finding most of it at Half Price Books. I mean, gosh, it's been years, I think, since this wave initially came out. So very nice. Obviously they don't do the Black Series 3 3/4 inch anymore. They've moved it to do the Vintage collection now, and then we only have the 6 inch. But so you do see the classic red and black packaging, and this action figure I think fans really liked because there were so many accessories, just like old times when you just got loaded down with accessories. And of course the Cantina patrons are amongst some of the most popular figures to get just because they're so unique. Everybody really loved the unique aliens. In today's time we don't see as much of it. I think it's probably just with the new movies. Hasbro is rushing to get out the actual main characters, and hopefully down the line as time goes on we'll get some of the more obscure ones. I'm not quite sure. I thought we'd be seeing them more by now at this point, so we'll just have to see. But luckily we do have plenty of material for the original trilogy and such, so I'm excited about this Ponda Baba. The other one that I have is from Power of the Force, so definitely needed an upgrade to this. But I think they were Walmart exclusives at the time, so they don't have a number on the side. Of course, you found it at Half Price Books after they have all finished, and so he's really cool. Let's go ahead and I will open the packaging and give you guys a closer look. Alright guys, and here is Ponda Baba outside of the packaging, but before I give a closer look to the figure, I do want to go on and show the accessories because there are quite a few. Okay, so starting off with his blaster, we get a very interesting cacophony of items on this pistol. Looks like we have a scope, but it's sticking out at the end for some reason. Magazine up here, handle, it's silver, and it's got a little bit of like dark shading. Nothing crazy, but it's nice to include a pistol with a Cantina patron. We also get a little glass, which is very good that they included this because we need these, especially if you have a Cantina diorama. Really cool. There's actually some liquid, it looks like, that's filled up in there, so that's really neat. You can hold it down at the bottom here. I always like when these guys come with glasses, however I do tend to lose them quite frequently. Walrus Man has these flippers, I think is what they call them, and it's really odd. They're like flippers on the top, and then he's got hands inside, and he has them all throughout the bar scene, even when he grabs onto Luke's shoulder, or I think that might be the Doctor. Whenever he touches him, he has these little flipper hands, but as soon as Obi-Wan cuts off his hands, he has these little hairy arms, or hands, I guess. And it was actually really interesting. I was reading on, it was like a Reddit, I think, and some people who originally saw the movie thought that Obi-Wan had cut off somebody else's arm, not Ponda Baba's, because the hands were so different. And so it's really weird. It's one of those very odd Star Wars things that happened back then, just based on continuity and the way the costumes were and the confusion about colors and all this kind of happened back then when they translated it into action figures. But I thought it was very interesting, and I really like that Hasbro included both versions of the hands for people. I like this because it's kind of the original hand, but anyways, just an interesting side note there. But as you can tell, Ponda Baba looks really good. His face is very clean. He is kind of like a dark brown with his tusks obviously there. He looks really good. His jacket is nicely detailed with some piping on the sides and some wrinkles. Looks really good. And then of course he's got his brown trousers and boots. And he has a holster for his gun, which is handy dandy. Let's see. And it looks like it's almost not all the way strapped on. It's kind of interesting. I think it fits best like that, but I don't know. Sometimes holsters are weird. Mine almost looks like it has broken on the side because it's kind of coming off. I don't know. Not a huge deal though. But in terms of articulation, Ponda Baba has a ball-jointed head. It's pretty restricted from the back of his jacket though. He has ball-jointed shoulders, ball-hinged arms, swivel wrists. Let's see, he has a swivel torso, or waist. hips, ball joint knees, and ball joint ankles. So pretty articulated, pretty nice, what we expect at this point from the Black Series figures, or what was Vintage Collection before. But I think he's a really neat figure. I know that they released a Dr. Evanez, I don't know how to pronounce his name. And if I'm not looking at it, I always say it wrong. So I have him from the Legacy or not the Legacy, the Vintage Collection, but he is in package. If I ever find another one, I'll open him, but I think that he'll go good with Ponda Baba in general. They look really neat. And this is a really great remake for Ponda Baba. Definitely needed, and I love the accessories. I love the cup and the extra arm, or the extra hands. And the fact that he comes with a blaster is fantastic. So anyways, guys, let me know what you think about this figure in the comments below. And as always, thank you so much for watching and have a great day. Bye. He does come with what looks like an arm piece, but I actually tried to figure out how this goes together and how it works. So if anybody knows, let me know in the comments. I'm not quite sure if this should, I think, be the shoulder, but this on the end looks like blood, like when his hand gets cut off. So I'm not quite sure there. He also does come with 2 spare hands right here. So really quick and interesting thing about Ponda Baba, not only is he a really cool Cantina alien, but there was also a really large discretion with the way his hands were, and I actually didn't realize this until I got this figure and I'm looking at his hands and I'm like, why do they look like this? Because what I recall is when Obi-Wan cuts off his hand and it looks hairy like this. And so I actually went and I had to look it up, and it's a continuity error that happened in 1977. Basically, when Luke walks into the cantina